Hi, everybody. Max Lucado here. I'm in the TBN studios in Dallas, Texas. Obviously, I'm not at home like I typically am when I record these. I'm in Dallas because we're capturing 3 episodes of encouragement entitled Fearless, Fearless. And if you could use a message of hope, tune in to these. Just keep an eye out. Your local listings there for Trinity Broadcasting Network. And we're so encouraged by the opportunity to share encouragement in these times in which so much has been shaken. Let's focus on what will never be shaken. Speaking of that which is unshakable, we're spending some time in the greatest verse in the Bible, John 3 and verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Boy, don't we need the promise of this passage? There are so many people facing so many fears. We really need Jesus. We need him because, according to John 3:16, God will give us exactly what we need, a new heart. He will give us a new heart. Now, maybe that strikes you as irrelevant today. If so, just post your prayer needs before you move on. But if it strikes you as relevant, if you're intrigued by the idea of having the good physician give you a brand new heart, then you give me about 6 minutes. I want to talk to you about what God will do for you. As far as medical exams are concerned, the one I received was simple. But as far as I'm concerned, no exam is simple if it couples the word irregular with heartbeat. I knew I was prone to have an accelerated pulse. When I see my wife, Deanlin, my ticker ramps up, and when she brings me a bowl of ice cream, you'd think I had a Geiger counter in my chest. Such palpitations are to be expected. It was the random rhythms, however, that concerned my cardiologist. Now, you're not going to find a kinder physician anywhere. And he did his best to assure me that as far as heart conditions go, mine isn't serious, saying, when it comes to cardiac concerns, you got the best kind. Now, forgive my anemic enthusiasm, but isn't that kind of like telling a about-to-leap paratrooper your parachute has a defect, but it's not the worst type? I prefer the treatment of another kind of heart doctor. He saw my condition, and he made this eye-popping offer. Let's exchange hearts, Max. Mine is sturdy, and yours is frail. Mine is pure, yours is diseased. You take mine and enjoy its vigor. I'll take yours, and I'll endure its irregularity. Now, where do you find that kind of physician? Well, you'll find him at his number, 316. You see, at the heart of this verse, he deals with the heart of our problem. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. A man once told me that that's the craziest claim I've ever heard. He and I were sharing a row and a meal on an airplane, and I was actually working on some studies on John 3:16. I told him what I was doing. He did not share an appreciation for this verse. He said this to me. He said, I don't need God to give anyone for me. I've led a good life. I hold a good job. People respect me. My wife loves me. I don't need God to give me his Son. Perhaps you agree. Maybe you appreciate the teachings of Jesus. Maybe you admire his example. But no matter how you turn it around, you cannot see the significance of the death of Christ. How can the death of Christ mean life for us? Well, the answer begins with a heart exam. Do a simple exercise with me. Measure your life against these 4 standards from the 10 Commandments. Now, I would think heaven's applicants should score well on God's basic laws. Wouldn't you agree? Just 4 of them, just 4. Number 1, you must not steal. Ever stolen anything? Paperclip? Parking? Place? You thief. You must not lie. And those who say they haven't just did. You must not commit adultery. Jesus said, if you look at a woman with lust, well, you've committed adultery in your heart. You must not murder. Now, before you declare innocence, remember, Jesus equates murder with anger. He said anyone who is so much as angry with a brother or sister is guilty of murder. So we assassinated a dozen drivers on a morning commute. So bad news from the cardiologist. That's my point. Your test score indicts you that you need help. You need a new heart. Now, contrast your heart with the heart of Jesus Christ. Did you know that he never sinned? When you list the claims that qualify him as either crazy or kingly, don't omit this one. He asserted to have the only sinless heart in all of history. Peter, who lived with Jesus for 3 years, said he never did one thing wrong. Not once. Not once said anything amiss. So the big question is this. If my heart is impure and the heart of God is perfectly pure, how can I have a relationship with him? Here's the answer. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. 2 Corinthians 5:21. This is no transplant, mind you. It's a swap. The holy and vile exchange locations. Can I say that sentence again? This is no transplant, mind you. It's a swap. The holy and the vile exchange locations. God makes healthy what is sick, right what is wrong, and straight what is crooked. If you have given your heart to Christ, he has given his heart to you. Rather than tell us to change, he creates the change. Do we clean up so he can accept us? No, he accepts us, and then he begins cleaning us up. You see, grace is God as a heart surgeon. He cracks open your chest. He removes your heart, poisoned as it is with pride and pain, and he replaces it with his own. His dream isn't just to get you into heaven, but to get heaven into you. Oh, what a difference this makes. You can't forgive your enemy, can't face tomorrow, can't forgive your past. Christ can, and he's on the move, aggressively budging you from graceless to grace-shaped living. Trust this gift, this amazing gift, won't you? A brand new heart. For God so loved the world, he gave his one and only Son, so that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life.